Welcome to the Sunday's Gospel Reflection. I remember when I was a student, one of my Jesuit professors was telling us how he had a unique relic of Jesus himself. Eager and curious, we asked him what it was. And he told us, it's the stone that Jesus could not find to lay his head on. And he started laughing. Stones. We humans, we love stones. Just think of Malta's stone heritage. Hajar-im, Giganteum, Nidra, Mostadom, Paola Parish Church, Tapino and Gozo. It is our heritage to which we are now adding modern temples created by our frenzied construction industry. Luxury villas, big luxury hotels, glass towers, high-rise apartments. These are our present-day monuments to our wealth and our stupidity. One is tempted to say that we are still living in the Stone Age, even if today concrete and glass have become the modern version of stone in construction. Such was the impressively beautiful Jerusalem temple for the Jews, a source of pride, superiority, and so-called devotion. In today's gospel, Jesus hears some people expressing their admiration how the temple was adorned with costly stones, votive offerings, as the gospel says. And his reaction was shocking. All that you see here, the days will come when there will be not left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down and destroyed. These stones you are admiring will one day become just rubble and ruins. We humans need dwellings, we need homes, we need a fixed address somewhere on the planet. So our Stone Age ancestors, as well as our modern contemporaries, we imagine that God also needs a house to dwell in, a fixed address where we can find Him. So we build glorious, marvelous temples, churches, chapels, and we say it is for God's glory. But in reality, is it His glory or our own glory that we are after? Is it His needs or our needs that we have in mind? This is such a different way of life from the one Jesus chose when He lived on this earth among us. To those who asked Him for His address, where He lived, Jesus simply replied, "Come and see. Foxes have dens, birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head on." In other words, God cannot be confined to any single place and time. If we want to meet God, we need to seek Him in life, because God is life itself. He cannot be contained, He cannot be explained by any one single particular expression or reality. God is like a bird in flight, but our instinct, like that of a hunter or a trapper, is to catch him, shoot him down, or build him beautiful golden cages that we call temples or churches to honor him, little realizing that too often our aim is to imprison him. Just as a bird lover puts a beautiful bird in a cage for his own pleasure and convenience, not for the bird's pleasure and convenience. This is what we want to do to God. It's what a circus manager does with magnificent wild animals. He puts them in cages, tames them, feeds them so that they can play the show on the manager's terms and for the manager's benefit. Is not this too often our attitude towards God? We want Him to play our tune, perform the miracles that suit us, adapt Himself to our needs, to our plans. We want a powerful God who will do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. We want a big daddy who will do our homework for us. So we built him a church, put him in a tabernacle to make sure we give him a fixed address, to know where to find him when we need him. You see, we have a tough time accepting that our God is the beauty of life that is free, that is wild, that cannot be tamed, that cannot be controlled by us, his creatures. Jesus refuses to play our game. He refuses to be locked up in a temple, in a church, a convent, or any other address on earth. He loves us too much to remain our prisoner. He breaks open all the doors and locks to show us the way, because he wants us to be free, to live a full, a real life. That's why at the resurrection, the big heavy stone blocking the tomb was moved out of the way. No stone can keep Jesus locked or blocked in any dark tomb or prison, even if it is the prison of our minds. No, he does not submit to our games. He cannot be contained under lock and key in a golden box at the center of a marble altar, however sacred and marvelous it might be. Jesus refuses to have a fixed and permanent address. He is at home wherever we, his brothers, his sisters, live, where we struggle, suffer, where we rejoice. We can only meet him if we join him on the road of life. Of course, as human beings, we often get tired of walking, but Jesus never gets tired of waiting for us until we find enough love and energy to take another step forward in this open ended journey that we call life. This is why He is always one step ahead of us, opening a way for us where there is no way. Yes, let us build temples, churches, chapels, we need them. Let us make them beautiful and welcoming places for Jesus. But let us make sure that our churches do not become a safe and cozy point of arrival where we go to settle down in our traditions, customs, and ritual prayers. This will only send us back to the Stone Age. Let us make our temples, our churches, a starting point, a point of departure, a place where we go indeed to meet God, but only to allow Him to send us out into the world, to be His witnesses by walking on the highways and byways with our struggling brothers, our suffering sisters. No, Jesus had no fixed address. He is the way to the Father, the way to life, the way to freedom. Let our churches be a place where we come to put on our walking shoes, to take up our walking sticks, so we can go wherever He sends us. Let us go out of our masses, our devotions, enlightened by the Word, strengthened by the Eucharist, but to go and share the good news that our God is a living God, so that instead of getting stuck in the Stone Age, we will start living in the age of freedom. Our God cannot be contained in magnificent stone buildings or beautifully carved golden boxes. Our God is a living God who is constantly a step ahead of us, opening a new way, a new life, an open ended, eternal love. Then, like Him, we would no longer need any stone or stones to lay our heads on or to shelter under. God bless you and thank you.
Oh, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide. Hold me closely to His side. With love and strength for each new day, He will make a way. He will make a way. By a roadway in the wilderness, He'll lead me. Rivers in the desert will I see. Heaven and earth will fade, but His word will still remain, and He will do something new today. Oh, God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide. Hold me closely to His side. With love and strength